Fake news and social media impersonation has become the order of the day. We don't know which is which. We don't know who to trust. We don't know the news to take. Some of you might define fake news as a misleading information being posted on net to misguide or mislead people into believing something that is not real. And impersonation or social media impersonation is also something that has become very big, especially on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, etc., where people pretend to be who they are not. All these definitions are open, and you're free to also share your own opinion. You guys are welcome to the Lifestyle Show. I still remember your girl EJ and the host for the show. Thank you all very much for your love and support. And please do follow the Lifestyle playlist on New World TV. Like and subscribe and keep sharing. Once again, you guys are welcome. Today we'll be talking about the rise of fake news and social media impersonation. And with me in the studio are two lovely people. They've been here before, actually. Both of them in like the same show. So I'm bringing them again to come help us talk about this very topic. I'll begin with May. It's so good to have you here again.
Same here. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you very much for coming.
Always.
And May is, please can you introduce yourself for me?
So I am Chief of Staff in an organization that tackles climate change called SSA. And I'm also in the media.
All right, then. Thank you very much for coming. And then we have Desire, or, proudly called Zaya.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
I am Zaire. Mm-hmm. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm also a radio host at Sport FM.
All right, then. Thank you all very much for coming, okay? So, guys, you know that... when I began talking, I said that it's now a trend. Yeah. So first of all, what do you guys think? What's sprung the surge of fake news and social media impersonations? I'll start with you, please.
As far as fake news impersonation, I feel like it's been around for a while, especially on social media. Mm-hmm. And I see that it became a really big thing during Donald Trump and his presidency, where he was making up stuff, and then everybody said fake news and COVID coming through. So that's when I feel like it became a big trend.
Okay. May, what do you have to say about that?
I totally agree with Desire, because yes, of course, like on social media, you don't know what's real or what's fake, but at some point it became a big thing as soon as like Trump during the elections and COVID, as he mentioned.
So is it just Trump?
No, he actually like put more emphasis on that fake news era thing. So now it became a big thing not to trust other TV stations or other stuff like that on social media, because what they're posting about him, for example, are not true.
But I do believe that he was the one that coined the name fake news, because they said something about him and he was like, that's fake news.
And then it became a thing.
Okay. All right, then. So how do social media algorithm contribute to the spread of misinformation? Me.
I think when something is posted often and it's relayed, like the algorithm probably thinks that, it's like they should boost it up. So like people tend to like see it more and more, and like the views just like.
So are you saying that people are also helping to?
Yes, of course. Like when they don't really pay attention to a certain topic or post, like it dies down automatically.
Oh, okay. So what do you think?
Yes, just like how May said, when people post, and the thing about posting is people want to post and get a reaction from people, the likes and views. So you will say anything you want, true or false, so you can get people riled up or people's reaction. And I feel like social media platforms as well, they enjoy that because it works in their favor as well.
And this same fake stuff that is being posted is what helps the social medias to actually
especially
make money.
Blogs.
And all that. So all right, it's fine. thirdly, how can individual identify and fact check fake news, and stories?
Can that even be truly done? Like, there's so many stuff on there, it's nearly impossible to see something and fact check it.
Really?
Unless the person that is dealing with the situation will like come and tell you, because you never know. Even on the news, like they're reporting news and you can never fully know if it's true or not.
Wow.
That's true. Because even news channels, for example, when there's an issue happening in Israel and Palestine, I think it was CNN that posted a picture saying that Palestinians are bombing Israelites. But they didn't know that the picture they posted was actually Israelites bombing people from Palestine.
So even then, they didn't like properly do their background research before posting it. So now Americans or people all over the world are going to see this, and they're really going to think Palestinians are the one that were bombing Israel.
It's going to promote a lot of hate coming from the other side.
Of course.
There's an interesting saying. They say that my dad always tells me, when you watch the news, so watching the news, you're going to be misinformed, but not watching the news, you're going to be uninformed.
So you just have to keep
choose your battle.
You just have to choose.
Right? You have to keep watching.
Choose your battle.
Oh my God. All right. So what are the consequences of social media impersonation on personal and national security? So I'll start with you.
There's a lot of I'll say, for example, consequences. If, for example, there's somebody that's using social media to impersonate, let's say, public figures or politicians, it might have an effect on national security because people are not going to know if it's the right person or the actual person saying it. So, consequences. Governments will pick you up and arrest you.
Do they do that?
They
do it in the U.S.
You know, there are some governments or country where it is not tight. The securities are not really that tight. If you have a very large number of people, so you can't really pick. Like, let's say TikTok now, for instance, you can't. Someone maybe makes a random post. You can't just pick up the person and be like, okay, I'm going to arrest you, I'm going to do this. Because some of them don't have an address to their houses, right?
I agree.
Right?
But if the person, for example, they did something, they used like a president's face just to make people laugh, nothing too serious, I don't think they'll mind. But if it's something they say that, we have decided to change this and do this or attack this country and all that, that's when they like interferes with like national security and even if they don't have your address, like here in Togo, there's ways where they can get you, like next time you go do your passport or you're gonna do your national identity card, they're gonna pick you up.
Has there been something like that? Has something like that in any story like that recently?
Not that I recall. Do you?
No, I don't think.
But I know there's something like this is happening right now in Ivory Coast with this influencer called Observateur. And Marie-Paul Adjé, I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's a big thing right now. It's almost national now there.
What is it about?
It's about this influencer that always like make posts about people that are not true. Like he will like exaggerate the information so bad that he even looks serious while doing it. But people knows them, like they know him as a jokester. But this time he went so far regarding the lady, because she's also a national figure, and he said very degrading and sexual things about, but she's also in a relationship. So the problem is now she's gonna have issues with what he's saying because he's making it seem like it's true. So what she did is that as soon as he landed, because I think he's in France, as soon as he landed in Ivory Coast, they took him.
Damn.
What?
Are you serious?
Yeah, she sued him and they took him for months now.
Does she live in France?
No, she's in Ivory Coast. So as soon as Observateur came back, that's what I heard, allegedly, because I need to add allegedly. Allegedly, so like they picked him up.
Oh wow. Okay, so that means governments are working in stuff like this. All right then. So what measures can social media platforms take to combat fake news and impersonation? Me, please.
Pardon? I didn't really catch the question.
What measures can social media platforms take to combat fake news and impersonations?
Well, they have options. For example, if you feel somebody is attacking you or is being fake, what they do is like you have the possibility to report the person, and they will fact check behind doors to see if they're legit or not, and then just delete the page or delete the post or stuff like that. So I think social media is really working. Any type of, so I think it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, they're all working behind doors for that.
What do you think?
I do agree. Yeah, we do have those, but I also feel like social media had before, when each institution or celebrities had a celebrity check mark. You knew that if they said something, it's coming straight from them, this person. It's not a fake account that created it. But Mark Zuckerberg, not Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg.
Facebook.
He decided to allow everybody to get check marks.
Any type of person can get a check mark.
So now you can easily get a check mark and be a reputable
and act like an influencer or celebrity.
Exactly. So at that point, that's when it gets kind of tricky, a little bit interesting. But they do also have stuff in place where if you post something, they'll automatically have a task force that double checks in, and they'll either deem it fact checked by Facebook or either fake news or fake information.
I think it's only Facebook that is more serious.
Yeah, doing that, correct.
Yeah, because there's
Instagram too. Actually,
they are.
For the past year, like as soon as you post something, whether it's about COVID or anything very sensitive, Facebook, or not Facebook, but Instagram will immediately like fact check what you're saying, and then they won't even allow you to post it. They'll tell you immediately that this is not legit, or sometimes they'll allow you to post it, but then they're like put right under there that this may not be real.
Okay.
To warn like the people that are watching.
Okay. All right then. So should government regulate this question is actually very good. Okay. Should government regulate social media to prevent the spread of misinformation?
I can't answer that.
I'll answer that.
Zaya, let me start with you.
I do feel like governments need to regulate, but to an extent, because you because you have people. For example, I'm going to speak for myself because I'm on social media to troll people and to spread fake news. So it's not done intentionally. It's done intentionally, but it's not done to like
for fun.
Yeah, it's just for fun, giggles. I was going to say poops and giggles, but I feel like governments need to intervene in cases where it's something that damage, like defamation, for example. If somebody's family, if it's like has to do with somebody's family, their children, or business, bullying to like an extent where somebody like throwing somebody's nudes on the internet.
I hope you know the nude stuff. It's been allowed to be posted. I recall that
on Facebook.
Not in media. On some medias like X, for example. It's all over there,
and it's not being regulated, right? Anyways, sorry, that was a drift. Continue.
So when it gets to that point, I feel like the government needs to come and intervene, which I feel like here they do. If somebody's like you post from your own account somebody's nudes, you'll have to deal with the consequences, and as well if you speak about somebody's family or whatnot. So I do feel like the governments need to,
especially lately, they're really working hard. Like if you go on TikTok, like somebody would just turn on their live and start speaking about someone else, they'll go pick you up. Like I think lately they're very
on
strict. TikTok or other social medias. Like lately I've heard like a whole bunch of people that were locked up just because of this.
Oh wow, that's good. That's very good, because there's a lot of trend going on with this fake news and shit happening. So I think it's a good thing if actually they are doing what you say they are doing. All right. So I know we've shared so many examples, right? But I need some specific examples also. Okay, how can you share some examples of successful initiative or campaign that have, countered fake news? Are there any campaign in Togo recently?
Companies or stuff or structures that deals with that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that question to Zaire.
So
he's more.
In Togo, there is an institution called ARCEP, which they deal with anything that happens on social media. I don't know how severe or how they operate, but all I know is that that's the task force.
Have you heard of any operation of theirs that was successful?
Allegedly, I've heard of a few successful operations, but I don't know if it was
real,
exactly them, or if it was real, or who it actually was. So, but I do know that there is a task force that handles that, and they do a very good job. I said it here first. They do a very good job. Just leave my social media page.
The way everything's being regulated, I think they're
doing something right.
Yeah, they're doing something good.
All right then. So, how can we balance free speech with the need to regulate harmful or false information? Okay, online. May please, I'll start with you.
How can we regulate free speech?
Yes, please.
Well, it's a bit it's a bit paradoxal, because you can't say freedom of speech and then keep people from actually having the freedom to say what's on their mind. It's very complicated,
right?
So what I can say about that is to actually just make sure we let out there for people to just be careful on what they say. If you want to even talk about someone or a situation, make sure you add allegedly, because you never know.
That's the only thing that saves you.
It will save your life, literally. Add allegedly, because since these blogs knows about this word, as soon as they even post something they're not sure about it, they will sprinkle the word allegedly there, because they don't want any trouble. So it should just be regulated amongst people behind their phones and screens.
Zaya, what do you think?
I defer because I feel like when it comes to free speech, it can't be, you can't control free speech, because free speech has a lot to do with perception,
right?
And for example, in Togo, there's this artist called Koni Gangster, who his music, his lyrics are very vulgar,
exactly,
and he has been told a few times to
chill it
out and all that. But I feel like as an artist, he deserves that free speech, because that's how he makes his money. That's his art. That's how he expresses himself. So I feel like he should be allowed to do that. The only regulation that can happen would be if the government would be like, okay, if your song is going to be played on the radio, send a version that's clean. That's clean.
I think they do that in Nigeria.
Yeah, they do that in Nigeria. Yeah,
they do.
Oh,
they do.
Wow.
There are some lyrics that you hear the beep sound when you say some vulgar thing. They just, but I don't think it's been implemented here in Togo.
It's not been implemented.
I haven't heard it yet.
Nobody really does it.
I think it's better. This is a better alternative. If you want artists to actually express themselves, then there are a version where they're fully themselves. But if you want it to be out there, even kids are listening. So if for radio or TV, they should have a clean version, so it won't
exactly.
Just like there are parental controls when it comes to movies.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, there should also be parental control when it comes to music. I don't know if that is possible though.
It's possible.
It is. It is.
Okay.
For example, when my first CD that I bought was 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying.
Okay.
And it had all these words in it.
Oh my god.
My mom didn't know, so I was listening to it and I would be cursing everywhere. And then my sister told my mom, and my mom was like, bleep your mouth. So we went to Walmart. We got the clean
version,
edited version. I listened to it and I'm like, hello to so it does work.
It does, right?
It does.
All right then. So what is the role of fact-checking organizations in combating fake news? Yeah,
their role. I think, as you mentioned, the institution RCEP, I think they're doing, like I mentioned before, a great job trying to like regulate that. So that's like their major role, to make sure like no one goes overboard or no one feels, you know, attacked, or just security for security's sake. So,
and do they actually fact check? Here in Togo,
I mean, like, they make some investigations regarding certain situations to know, like, what you're saying, is it true?
Because
proof.
Do you know, the reason I'm saying this is everybody's more like invested in what's happening in politics, what's happening here, what's happening there. So do you think they really do have the time to check what's happening in social medias, let alone
that's their job? That's literally their job.
Yeah, they do, because that's their division. That's what they focus on. So there's, I don't know if you've heard of Hack. Hack, they're in charge of TV, radios. So they do the same thing, but for TV, radio. RCEP does the same thing for social media.
All right. Okay, then. So, what are the future implications of AI-generated content on the spread of misinformation?
That's even worse.
Exactly.
That's even worse. That's because terrible. Like, that's big, last time I know there's these rappers having beef on social media, and one of them decided to use AI and put other artists in it. So when you listen to the song, you really think it's those artists that are beefing with the other one, but it was completely AI generated. So this is even more dangerous, because you would never know unless the person will come forward and tell you it wasn't me.
And I got fooled, to be honest. I thought,
right, you thought it was real,
I thought it was real,
because their voices, the way the AI generated. Imagine we'll pick Whitney Houston. They even added Tupac.
Yeah, they added Tupac.
They added Tupac, and but it was a newly released song. So the person added Tupac as a featuring, and
him as well on there.
And who's Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
And like when you listen to the track, you really think Snoop Dogg and Tupac and this artist made the song, but it wasn't real.
Yeah.
It was in the form of attack, you know, because they were beefing. So like two artists were beefing, and one to respond back. That's what he did.
And
they weren't even aware that it was AI promoted.
I think he said it was AI.
he said it was AI.
But before then, they probably they may have had some, you know, little beef.
Yes, they had a little beef.
I mean, that should like create kind of chaos even amongst their fans.
Of course it did. That's what he wanted. That's what he did.
And it worked.
It worked. You know, sometimes I feel like these artists, they use it to kind of, you know, when they've gone down a little and no one is talking about them, they try to spike something, you know.
They do that sometimes. Like, to create buzz. Yeah, they do that. And some realize it was not real, because I mean, Tupac, as we know, is dead.
Yeah.
So like, Tupac will release a new song in this generation on that specific beat, and we're not aware. People knew immediately that it was AI generated before even became, or not.
Or Tupac is still alive.
Or not. You never know. You never know. That's what I was saying. Like, you can never fully check that is true.
I know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's true.
So, finally, May, what is your take on this rise in fake news and social media impersonation? What's your final take on it, basically?
People should be very, very careful.
You remember the
news?
What's it called? The stuff I read to you guys that was, you know, pulled up from Twitter, where someone was saying stuff about
Rema.
You know, exactly, sending 2K to Rema and some of the actors and all of those things. All of these things are impersonated accounts. Because normal now, Baba will not ask you to send 2K.
How do you know that we can check?
I will not ask you to send 2K.
He's riding in Lamborghini and you ask you for 2K.
Do you get?
No.
So it's kind of like, you know, trends that is happening online and all that. So let me hear your final take on it.
This is dangerous, and I don't think it will stop anyway. Just people need to be very, very careful and make sure, like, they fact check as much as they can before they even like get into situation. I should. We all should.
But do you?
If what?
Like, do you fact check some?
The thing is, I'm not as gullible when I hear something on social media and immediately believe it. Like, I make sure, like, the person himself will come out and like make a speech about it, because it's too easy to go on social media and a blog will post something and be like, oh, they did this. We're like, were you there? Did you watch it? Like, were you there? So I'm not as gullible as many people on social media, because people just believe everything and anything. and just share it. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Of how fast news can go on social media and
especially
amongst people.
Negative news.
Exactly. And since blogs, they know this, they just like they fuel
fire.
it. Oh,
they put fire. They pump it very low, that kind of thing. All right, Zaya, what do you think? Final take on this.
As for me, it's the total opposite of me.
Really? Wow.
Because it is dangerous. I do agree, but I love it, and really? I'm here for it. Because
should I say that's extreme of it?
I don't know.
No, because it's entertaining.
Is it?
Like stuff.
Yeah. To what extent?
No, but
that's the thing.
Exactly.
To me, if I see somebody post something is true or not, it's entertaining. I'm sharing it. Like I want to be part of it. I don't care if it's true or false. It's entertaining. That's what social media is for. We're all social media.
Just laugh it out. I mean, if you like joke about it, okay, but like.
So just according to what May said, or if I should quote her right, if you're posting, add allegedly.
Yeah, very important. No, some people know that, but they just still
don't because why do you want to add allegedly? Because it's gonna be like it may be true, it may not. But you want to show that.
So when you make a post, you don't add it.
No. Well, depends on certain topics.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I'm aiming at. Like it's very sensitive. Like you can do that with everything. I mean, like for basic stuff, okay, but like to an extent where it, it's dangerous for the person, the other person, then that's when you need to learn how to
all right,
let me rephrase that. I add allegedly if it's coming from my page.
Okay.
I got burner accounts, so if I'm using my other account that nobody knows it's me, why use allegedly? Just send that.
Share away.
Share away.
All right, people. So you guys have heard it from my two beautiful people in the studio. According to me, add allegedly when you are posting something that should get you into trouble. All right, and please, we forgot to add, with people that impersonate accounts, the Yahoo guys that want to make plenty money and quo. It doesn't really matter what you're using the account for, but please have mercy on poor people, because please, they extort up onto the extent that they extort even Africans. All right, so let's just cut down, bring it down, with the gibberish thing happening online, all right, with the fake account, fake news, etc. We could curb it. It's possible, all right. And if you must make a post, add allegedly. Very important to save yourself, all right. And like Zaya said, sometimes it's for fun, just post and keep posting.
Go crazy,
right? So, all right, so until we come your way next week, I stream your girl AJ. May, thank you very much for coming.
You too.
Thank you, Zaya, for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you both for joining me today. They probably will still come again the same time, I don't know, but we'll do it.
We'll see.
Until next week, stay blessed, stay safe. Plenty love from me to you. Bye bye.